Good evening, and thank you for joining Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. I am your host, Indiana Shields. We have quite a fun episode here planned for you. We are joined by Super Bowl champion, one of the best to do it, Harry Sydney. Harry, thank you so much for joining the show today. It is just an honor and a pleasure to have you and talk some football with you today.
Well, I appreciate you, and you know, this is going to be fun, but I have to correct you.
Let's move this a tad.
Yeah,
there we go. Perfect.
I got to correct you, though. It's not Super Bowl champion. It's 3 times.
3 times, man.
You got to give us the dues,
man. That's right. Okay.
You got to give us the dues.
The 3-time, we got, 2 with the
49ers
and 1 with the Packers.
1 with the Packers, which is it still hurts me because I should have 2. We should have won back-to-back. But that's another story.
Yeah, we'll dive down that when we come across it. But anywho, I do want to again thank you for taking your time. I mean, it means a lot. I know you do a lot of stuff for Local 5, so it's always great to have somebody like you. Loves to talk ball. Just great stories. I mean, we were just talking earlier, and just so much fun. So we're in for a good episode. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and start off. First thing I want to let's start at the very beginning. Football. How did you get into football? What was growing up like? And kind of take me through your career path.
Well, okay. I started playing football at 6 years old. And I started playing football at 6 years old in pads. And I played football because I had to hit something.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in my growing up was dysfunctional. Grew up in the South. Dad was military. If you've ever seen the movie Rambo, that's what my dad did.
Okay.
He didn't play.
Yeah.
There was no
sure.
discussions about this or that. He said, "Dude, you did it." And unfortunately, my mom was a great lady, but she had her issues.
Mm-hmm.
She had a drinking problem, and I realized her drinking problem. She was married to him.
Yeah.
So I started playing football because I had a lot of frustration as a young kid, and that's what I did. I started playing sports, and then one day when I was like 6 years old, we had a weigh-in, and as a young kid, you're always looking for those moments.
Yeah, for sure.
The moments to find yourself, the moments for validation, even though you didn't know what the hell validation was.
Yeah, right.
But I remember going to weigh-in, and when I was a young kid, one of my nicknames was Animal. And I went to weigh-in, and I saw 3 kids that recognized who I was, and they knew they were going to play me, and I saw them shiver.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that had to be a pretty cool feeling. You're like, man, I got him, man.
Then in that moment, they go, okay, this is it. And then that's what I did. I played football. I played basketball. I played baseball till high school till I got hit with the fastball and said enough of this stuff.
Yeah, enough of that. I'm done with that,
No,
man.
so that was it. And then I had a scholarship to – I had several scholarships all around, but unfortunately, and I say these things so people understand, everybody has life.
Yeah.
Everybody has issues. Everybody has something that could hold them back, but it's a choice.
Right.
Well, at 16, I was trying to decide what school I was going to go to school. Unfortunately, my mom shot my dad because she got tired of the craziness.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go as far away from North Carolina as I can.
To get out of it.
Yeah, and I wanted to go a place where I couldn't get back and they couldn't get to me. So I went to Kansas.
Yeah.
So I went to Kansas.
Right in Lawrence.
Lawrence, Kansas, a beautiful college. And the only problem is when I got there, I'd never seen. I saw a little bit of snow in North Carolina. My biggest coat was a leather jacket growing up.
Yeah.
You go to Kansas and there's 22, 23 inches of snow. All of a sudden you go, what the hell did I
do? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's good.
But so I went to Kansas and I played ball there. I returned kicks my freshman year. My sophomore year I was quarterback at college, and then I switched to running back my junior and senior year. Was all Big 8. My one of those years you get old, and then I tried out for Seattle. Matter of fact, on the second day of the draft, Mike Keller, the GM of Seattle, was sitting in my apartment going to sign me, and so I wound up signing for Seattle. Went out there, and I went out to Seattle thinking I knew football because I was an athlete.
But
I didn't
know football.
Different
in the NFL.
It's different in the NFL, and so I wasn't ready. And when they said take your book, although I played well, leading tackling, special teams, did some good runs. Running and catching I can do, but it's the understanding the blocking schemes and all that stuff I really didn't. And so when they said get your book and go see the coach, I was mad at them, and I thought I'd made it. But when you get old, you realize, man, no, you weren't ready.
Yeah.
So I went back to Kansas, got my degree in criminology, and did every other odd job there was. Dishwasher, cook, you name it. I did it to put food on the table because I was married at the time to my first wife and had some kids. Next year, tried out for Cincinnati. Not only was I the last guy cut, everybody got cut on Sunday. I got cut on Wednesday because a cornerback fell and hurt himself, and I was expendable because you had Pete Johnson, you had Charlie Alexander, Archie Griffin,
Yeah.
and Pete can both ways. So I got released, and you start doubting things.
Right. 100%.
You
And
start
like we
doubting
talked about earlier, you're looking for that moment of validation. It's
Yeah.
almost the same thing now that you're in the NFL, just
Yeah.
several years older.
And so the validation didn't come, so I went back to back to Kansas and did every other odd job I didn't do before the last year. And the weird thing was, then that's when the United States Football League, and they called and they signed us. And a week after I signed with Denver Gold, Cincinnati called me back, but I couldn't go back because I'd signed with in the United States Football League. So I went out played in the United States Football League early, and that was incredible. My first 2 years was in Denver Gold. I'll never forget training camp, man. You're talking about, I think we made $10 a day.
Yeah. I mean,
Beating each other up, man.
just beating each other up for that. That's awesome.
Just chasing. And we had training camp in Arizona. It was hot.
Yeah.
And so 2 years there, leading rusher, leading receiver for the Gold. And then the third year, we get a new coach, Miles Davis. And Miles comes in and says, well, I don't know if Harry can do what we want him to do. So they went and signed a guy named Dave Preston from the Denver Broncos, and I think he gave him some crazy amount of money, like $600,000.
Yeah.
And I think I was making $35,000,
Yeah.
$40,000.
Right. Yeah. Huge deal.
And it's crazy. So at that point, I felt like I'd been building my house, and right before I put my key in the door, somebody came and hit me over the head.
Mm-hmm.
When I woke up, somebody was living my life.
Yeah.
Messed me up.
Oh, 100% would.
Yeah, because you're still chasing. And then and so then I got traded to the Memphis Showboats, and this is where life kind of changes in different ways. That's where I go play with Reggie White before anybody knows who Reggie White is.
Right. Yep.
And it's the third year, and I'm playing had an incredible coach. I won't say crazy coach, but he was borderline.
Yeah.
Pepper Rogers.
Okay. All right.
And if you talk about any personality that you have now, forget it.
Forget it.
Right. He was unbelievable. And so we go down to Denver, and I'm running out for a pass play against the New Jersey Generals. Start, plant, go right, and the guy comes across my leg, and I rip everything that holds my leg together. So I'm laid up.
Jeez.
I'm laid up. And while I'm laid up, and these are those moments that you have in life. I'm laid up, and a buddy of mine on the team, used to be all pro in the NFL for Memphis, comes and cheers me up. So we party a little bit, drink a little bit, and all of a sudden I go check on my family in the back room. Then all of a sudden I hear, and this is where life changes. All of a sudden I hear a different voice. The dude has brought some chick over my house. And here's a guy that's trying to do something I can't allow him to do in my presence. You know what I'm saying? But now here's the dilemma. He's 6'5", 320. I just had stomach surgery. So I have 30 seconds in a serious moment, I have 30 seconds to decide whether I shoot a guy or not.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to wrestle him.
Right.
So I luckily talked him down. He stopped. And then the league folded, and I went and played in Canada. And then when I went to Canada, I played for Montreal Alouettes. And then when my visa was over, I had nowhere to go. So you talk about the journey. So where does a boy go when he has nowhere to go? He goes back home to mom. Goes back home to mom. And so I go back to Fayetteville, North Carolina, and there's a story in the paper. I'm a special substitute teacher. I do that because of kids. And then I was working in this factory. And this is that moment in life. In our lifetime, we have a lot of moments, and part of who I am now and what I'm about, my brother's keeper, has to do with this moment. I'm working as a graveyard shift as a forklift driver. This old gentleman walked up to me, stared me right in my face. And he looked at me and says, "Aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Harry Sinder, football player." He says, "No, you're not. You're Harry Sinder, the effing forklift driver." All of a sudden, right there, I was shattered.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to beat him down.
Right. Because it's angry because you're not what
you're not what I'm supposed to be.
You're not what you're supposed to be.
And
exactly.
But the cool part about it, sometimes I realize it takes a stranger to tell you the truth of who you are.
Yeah.
Because people around you love you. They'll tell you all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
And so because this stranger said that, I sent out my resume to all the teams in the league. Everybody said I was too old except for Bill Walsh at the 49ers. I go out to San Francisco, I become special team captain for the 49ers 4 to 5 years that I'm there. Win 2 Super Bowls. My teammates are Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, Charles Haley, Jim McMillan, all these guys that were icons of the game. So I got to sit and watch and learn
Yeah.
and win some Super Bowls. And then I came here in 92 with Mike Holmgren because of our relationship with San Francisco. My job was to come to Green Bay because I wasn't the fastest, but I knew the insides of the West Coast offense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
And I remember one time sitting in a room right after I came, because I didn't go training camp here. I was one of the last guys at San Francisco. We knew the game because I was old. They was going to sneak me back, but me and Mike had talked about if they let me go, I'd be on the next plane. So I was on the next plane. And my job was to teach guys how to play winning football. And a prime example, we're sitting in the running back room, man, and Gil Haskell, which was a heck of a coach, but he knew the West Coast offense. He learned in 6 months.
Yeah.
I had been running for 6 years.
Yeah, right.
So we sit in the meeting room. He says something. The guys in the meeting room turn and look at me. so me and Gil had to have a meeting, and how do you want me to play this? Because I don't want to disrespect you. You're the coach.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this or that. He says, hey, you're going to be the coach next year, so you're cool. So I played, retired. Next year I started coaching running backs. Coached running backs from 94 to 2000. It had a heck of a group of guys from William Henderson to Dorsey Levens to Travis Jervey, and all those stories about the wild animals are true. They're true. They're true. They're true. And not gonna call no names.
That's good.
and so I coached, and then I was on the railroad staff when we all got fired. Like I tell people, last week, Black Monday, I was a victim of Black Monday 26 years ago. Yeah, and your life changes because during that time, got divorced, remarried to an incredible partner of mine, and we have blended family of 8 kids. When I got fired from Ray Stowe, the first from the Packers in 2000, the first guy that called me was Andy Reid, offered me the run game coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go as a new family, who goes, who stays? Blended family.
Right. Yeah, it's
So
tough.
so 26 years ago, walked away from football on the professional side and did some financial planning for a little bit. And then I started realizing there was an epidemic going on. And this is when my brother Keeper comes along. Because I remember that when that old guy told me about who I was, I realized that affected me immensely.
Right.
And so when I opened my Brother's Keeper, I opened my Brother's Keeper with the same principle of teaching boys and men how to get it out of their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Say the stuff that they need to hear, maybe in a way that they've never heard it before. But my job is to paint a picture so they can see it, so they can be better at who they are. Because if they're better at who they are, that affects change in the people that they care about.
For sure.
So that's the journey, man.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, great first segment. We're going to head to our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about My Brother's Keeper and
Okay.
exactly what the mission is and how you're making an impact in Green Bay. Stick with us, guys. We'll be back right after a 1-minute break. Welcome back to Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. I am again joined by 3-time Super Bowl champion Harry Sidney.
See, you breathe better.
Oh, it feels better to say, man. Been a heck of an episode so far. And again, thank you so much for being here. Talked a little bit about your playing days and kind of the journey you have taken. Now, later in life, we're on a different journey. We're helping the youth, the young men in our community with My Brother's Keeper. Talk to me a little bit about what your whole nonprofit organization is and just how much of an impact you feel it makes in the Green Bay area.
And first we have to explain what it really is in the age bracket. It used to be 11 to 65. Now it's 9 to 82.
Mm-hmm. So it's everyone.
It's everybody, because everybody has stuff, whether you're the 13-year-old kid that is the oldest kid in the house and you're the one responsible for watching your brothers and sisters while mom or dad are working, and you think that you've earned the right to have a better choice and they never give you one.
Yeah.
To the guy that's 16, 17 years old is an athlete but doesn't know how to be an athlete. Everybody tells him he's an athlete, but he really isn't doing it. To the 22-year-old that's didn't go to school, now he wishes he's gone to school and he's made some mistakes, now he has to figure out how to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Too, and some of it's just about my goal is to help guys learn how to slow down and think.
Right.
A prime example, if I said to you, what's the difference between a professional athlete and an amateur athlete, what would you say?
I'd say the talent.
Talent, skill level. See, I
Yep.
say 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And they go 3 seconds, say, yeah. Think about that. If the starting right guard from Stevens Point got a DUI last night, who'll hear about it? Nobody. But if the starting right guard for the Green Bay Packers gets a DUI,
I work for the digital center. I'll be writing that immediately.
Immediate. And so the professional athlete knows he has 3 seconds to build or 3 seconds to destroy.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So part of what I do is I help guys learn how to slow down and have that conversation with themselves before they have with somebody else. And you can't have the right conversation if it's being led by being mad. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in now, it used to be about conversation, now it's about confrontation.
Yeah.
So part of it is myself. I had to learn how to be civilized all over again.
Yeah,
It sounds
right.
crazy, but coming
No,
from the
for
football
sure.
world where physicality and all those things always answer the question, I had to learn how to think different. And I go, if I went through stuff and I had to learn how to think different, and because I thought different, this is happening to me, I see so many guys that dads might be in jail or moms raising sons, and no disrespect, but it's hard for a woman to tell a man how to be a man. I remember one day I was sitting in a meeting of another another nonprofit and wanted to run a fundraiser, and this lady, nice lady, she says, "Well, I don't believe that a woman can't tell a man." I said, "Okay, well, tell him how to use the bathroom. Tell him how to use the bathroom."
Right?
Yeah. You know, and I in my marriage I have a blended family of 8 kids. I had 3 boys and a girl, and my wife had 3 girls and a boy. Brady Bunch plus 2 minus Alice. And I know myself, I couldn't speak the female language.
Yeah, it's just
It's you know, it's not so. What we've done over the 23 years of doing it is, and you say how many people, thousands, because what do we realize? If I work with a guy and he has a wife, that's 2. If he has kids, that's 5. If if he has coworkers, that's 10, 15. So for every one individual, if he handles his stuff right, he's going to affect other people. So
Right.
it spreads out.
yeah, for sure. Well, obviously doing great work. Now it's located here in Green Bay, correct?
It's located here in Green Bay. And we were asked when I started putting together, we were asked by 6, 7 other states to start one.
So it's obviously making quite an impact here across the state.
You know, we've won some awards, some NFL awards. We've won some state awards and all that stuff. But we didn't get into the award for awards. We get into to help people. And I say we because my wife, she's an incredible partner. I'm the big picture. She's the detail. She handles our stuff. And so a lot of times when I come in, while I'm working with the man, she's working with the mom.
Yeah.
She's working with the female version to help them have the conversations they might need to have to make their life smoother. And so our whole thing is to help our boys and men get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Just, you know, stop making it harder than it needs to be.
Exactly.
You know, keep it simple, stupid. I'm an old football guy. Dude.
Yeah, hey.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, it
I
works.
like that. Hey, that's a good one. Keep it simple, stupid. So
And with that comes, it's not just my thoughts. It comes from me watching the Joe Montana's, how they became great.
yeah.
Jerry Rice, one of the greatest things that ever happened, stories when we were practicing one day. We were in the backed up drill, and Jerry caught a 10-yard out and ran it all the way for a touchdown. He came back. I said, Jerry, what the hell you doing? He said, practicing.
Okay.
In the end of conversation.
Yeah.
That's how we practice.
Right.
And so for so many men, what I work with them on is helping them master the little stuff so there's no big stuff.
Yeah. That's
Handle the little stuff. Stop worrying about things you can't control. Control the things you can. And if you do that, you have a better shot of becoming the guy that you want to be.
100%.
And so that's what my brother's keeper, in a nutshell, one of my, over the years, phrases that we use is help them understand. It's not a black thing, a white thing, red thing. It's a man thing. And so we have clients that black and white, they come, it doesn't matter. You come in the door, and the cool thing about it is we've never turned anybody away in 23 years because they couldn't pay.
Yeah.
And our pay is really, we work on a sliding fee scale. The most anybody pays is 50, the minimum is 20, but we've never turned anybody away.
I mean, that's incredible stuff. Obviously, helping out the community, especially those who are less, have less income and stuff like that. So there's always an opportunity to better yourself through this.
Yeah,
My
it's
Brother's
it's, it's
Keeper.
one of those things where we try to take the excuses away.
Just get it done.
You get it done. If
Just
you
get
want
it
more,
done.
you got to do more.
Yep, exactly. That's a very good way to put it. So we're going to take our final commercial break. When we come back, Harry and I are going to talk a little bit of Green Bay Packers football.
Here we go.
To end the season and what we can expect for the offseason. Stay with us, guys. We'll be back right after these commercial breaks. Welcome back to Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus, joined again by 3-time Super Bowl champion Harry Sidney. Let's talk a little Packers, green and gold.
Here we go.
Obviously, a absolute collapse on last Saturday. What changed at halftime?
Well, in my opinion, and there's a lot of different things. In my opinion, one of the things that changed in halftime was the Packers really didn't make any adjustments.
No, none at all.
No, and the thing about it in this modern age of football and film, and every time you look on the sideline, guys looking through the iPad or stuff, you have to make adjustments.
Because
the
they
guys
know what's happening.
They know what's happening.
They're seeing it on replay. They're going into halftime knowing exactly what the Packers did to beat up the Bears
And the great
in the
teams,
first half.
the teams that win are the ones that know how to make those adjustments. Because great football. I mean, you know, Chicago, you know, their style of play, Green Bay style of play. You have to be offensively. You got to scheme better, man. You got to put guys in position to make plays, and that's where I think, because when you don't do it offensively, you put a lot of pressure on the defense.
Well, you saw in the second half, I mean,
Suck it.
we had one first down through like the first 5 drives or something like that. The defense never gets the chance to rest.
Well, you know, and especially in lieu of the fact that, you know, when you lose key people like Micah Parsons, all of a sudden that puts so much more pressure on everybody else, even the secondary. When he's pressuring the quarterback and everybody's around him, you know, 2 seconds to throw. Now quarterback has 3 seconds.
Yeah.
He has 4 seconds. You got to cover longer.
And it's harder to cover somebody downfield longer, especially an NFL receiver nonetheless.
They're getting paid too.
Yeah, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Romo Dunze. I mean, they're all talented receivers.
And so in that aspect, I think one of the things that the Packers, I think, hurt them this year, the lack of killer instinct on offense.
It was very, very conservative once they got a lead.
You know, and it's not like, and that's where the confusion is. It's not like, you know, Dan Campbell at Detroit. He might be so aggressive he becomes reckless. You don't want that.
Right.
You want an aggressive guy. You talking, and I just think at different times that didn't happen. And once this game is fickle, once you allow momentum to shift, it takes a life of its own.
Especially, you know, playing a road playoff game. I mean, the crowd gets back into it.
That's
just,
the great teams. The great teams. I know when the Packer team early, when they had the defense under Fritz Shermer and even in San Francisco, their whole philosophy was take the crowd out the game by halftime. So you have the home team booing.
Yeah.
And if you look at what Green Bay did, they really took Chicago out by halftime.
I mean, the fans were stunned at halftime.
Stunned, but they didn't.
They couldn't put them away.
Couldn't put them away.
Right.
They allowed hope to creep in. And when you have a team that you should beat, when all of a sudden hope springs eternal.
I mean, look at March Madness. It's the
Boom.
same thing, you know.
Yeah.
This is how all those underdog teams make a run. It's you give that team a chance, you give that team an opening, they're going to take it.
But the unfortunate thing is because they didn't handle that. Now there's so much conjecture. Okay, what do we do with the head coach? Do you give him a new contract? All these things that now have to come in play. You hope they don't. Do you lose Hafley? LaFleur, heck of a head coach. How good of his is as a coordinator.
Right.
Those are things now.
You and I talked about that. We think, well, you know, maybe play calling should be given to the offensive coordinator,
or maybe, you know, there's a lot of those offensive coordinators out there that have a different philosophy, but you know, especially when your running back was banged up, all of a sudden you saw nothing new.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Jacobs ran. I mean, maybe he was still injured. You know, the injury was more than what we thought it was, but he did zero in the second half.
Prime example is that who was I forget the team that the quarterback. Oh, it's San Francisco. They did the flea flicker where they reverse and the quarterback, and then the wide receiver throws a touchdown.
You're right to McCaffrey.
But McCaffrey, any of those things, I saw that was issue, and I saw it also at the same time. Guys that should be in position to make plays. For example, most times when you draft a number 1 draft pick, you say that's your spot.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't get to do that with Matthew Golden. We never told him.
Well, not only that, but you had different opportunities. Even when Jalen Reed got hurt, you had the ideal opportunity to put him in that role. He can get enough and is still helping offense because that was a weapon. I just don't think that offensively they seized on those moments, and that put too much pressure on the defense without the ace that you brought over.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the defense, they worked their tail off for the first 3 quarters of the game, but, it's only a matter of time until if you're on the field for a majority of the game. I mean, like I said, the Packers went 3 and out, I think 4 out of the first 5 drives in the second half. I mean, that wears on the defense.
And then last but not least, special teams.
Oh, boy.
Kicking game.
What did you say before? You don't like kickers, man.
Hey, there's an old saying I used to do when I did a radio show for a long time. Dislike kickers, man.
Oh, dislike them.
Dislike kickers. And some of my favorite, Barry Hill, there's a lot of great kickers out there. But, man, and it's not your fault, but for this team, you got 50% field goals from 40 yards or deeper when everything is close. There's too much invested by everybody else. And my whole thing at kicker, ain't nobody hitting you. Because if they hit you, it's a penalty. It's a penalty.
Yeah.
Do you think? And I just don't think that special team has to be really looked at.
Yeah, for sure.
In all aspects. I mean, did you think Josh Jacob was going to be the savior and return a kickoff that he fumbled?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Let's just grab back. Let's throw it out there. And so, unfortunately, the Packers are out the playoffs this year. But the cool thing is not because of quarterback play.
Yeah, for sure. Jordan Love looks solid.
He looks legit.
So
he's legit.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, as much as I'd love to continue talking with you, Harry,
we'll have to do it again.
That's all the time we got for. But yeah, look forward to maybe a couple episodes in the future here. That's been Harry Sydney, 3-time Super Bowl champion.
I like it.
I'm Indiana Shills. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Tuesday.